Let's go ahead and jump to our next example. So go to the Steps folder in your Persons module, and we're going to open up the third step, which is called User Permissions. In this step, what we're going to do is demonstrate user permissions. And we've talked about user permissions before, but we're going to expand on them a little bit and explore all of the different attributes that can be assigned to a permission. So let's go ahead and open up the file and copy the entire code and paste it over the code that's currently in your persons.module file. Okay. So we've added 3 functions to this file: persons permission here, persons menu here, and then persons search history page. So what we're doing is we're adding a couple permissions, and then we're creating a page where we can demonstrate what happens when a user doesn't have those permissions. Let's take a look at persons permission first. This is an implementation of the function hook permission, and it's very simple. All it does is return an array, and every key to the array is a permission. We can assign that key 3 different parameters. The first is title, which is the title that will display in the permissions management page. The description, which will also display on the management page to clarify if the permission needs some more data in order to interpret it. And then a final parameter called restrict access. And this will add some default text to the permissions management page to let users know, administrators know, as they assign permissions, that this particular permission is a little dangerous and you want to assign it to roles with care. And we're creating 2 permissions here. So you see we have 2 keys: view search history is one, and then clear all user search history is another. Once we've added this, then these items will display on our permission page. Let's go ahead and save this and take a look at the permissions page in our browser. You can get to it by going to People, Permissions. So that's admin/people/permissions right here. And then scrolling down to our module, which is called Persons. Okay, here we are. We've got our 2 permissions, view user history and clear all user search history. We have our description that's displaying, and then we have this warning which says give to trusted roles only. This permission has security implications. So that's the default text that will get added to every permission that has the restrict access property here. Okay, now let's go ahead and implement this user check using these permissions. First, we need a page. So we're implementing hook menu. So we have a function here called persons menu, and we're adding a page at the path person/search history. And we're not going to go into this hook in detail, but if you take a look at the menu systems videos, this will help clarify it a bit. We're giving it a title and a description, and a page callback of person's search history page, which is what we've defined down here as our third function. We're giving it access arguments, and this will allow us to set the permissions of the users that can view this page. In particular, it takes 1 permission, and we're setting it to access content, which means that anybody with access content permission can view the page, which is, by default, anybody, even anonymous users on the site. The reason why we're giving such loose access here is because I want to demonstrate how to return a access denied page even if you're currently inside of a page. And finally, we're returning items for this hook menu function. Our callback, person search history page, will display a list of history for the current user. So what we're doing is globalizing the user so we can use that. And then we're doing our permissions check. And we do so with a function called user access. User access takes a single parameter, which is a permission, and we're checking for view search history. And if they have this permission, they'll get to run through the rest of this code. If not, then we're returning a constant called menu access denied. And if you didn't do a check on the page level in hook menu here, then this is how you would want to return an access denied message. When you return this, the menu system will take over and display an access denied page. So our next step is to loop through the search history, just like we did in our previous example where we displayed the search history on the user page. We just loop through and create an array, and then we add it to the render array for the page using this build variable, and then we return the build variable. Okay, let's go ahead and save this. And what we're going to do is clear our cache and then go to this path here, persons/search history. So I'm just copying the path now. Okay, scroll up to the top and clear your caches. And then in the address bar, you can paste our new path. So we can view this because we have full permission. But if we switch to another user, I'm user 1, so by default, user 1 has all permissions on the site. I'm going to go ahead and switch to another user using the admin menu. And I'm going to switch to one that has good permissions, but not all permissions. And this is what they'll see when they go to this page. Access denied. You're not authorized to access this page.